on times of old. And such places are often kept as they were to provide a reminder so that past mistakes will not be relived.
The Atlanteans
You
never
you you
do
hear
such a
a
thing.
voice as you're having this discussion, and it's a kind of a deep, gravelly voice, and it says, "We are meditating upon the ordning itself and the events which happened here on this site. We are praying to no God save the order itself. And my fellow, I would hope that you would keep your small ones in better order in such a place."
My apologies. You still need to keep your mouth shut.
Natural 20 on his perception check.
Guessing that's what it was. We continue forward. Have you found your files now, Casey?
Hmm?
Have you found your files?
The breaking of the empire that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
I had
We
lost
continue
it.
up the steps.
Sweet. Yep.
You continue up the steps. As you get into the actual castle proper, you step into a courtyard. And all of a sudden, it goes from an abandoned city to the busiest place you can remember being in a long time. You see dozens, possibly hundreds, of giants talking amongst themselves, whispering, some of them shouting. Basically, you hear some trying to figure out what's going on, some of them asking others where they're marching to, what this about the ships is all about. You know, is it true that the king has returned? Has he, did you see him wearing the crown? What does it mean? What about the other worlds? Why were we the ones that were called back? All of this kind of going on in this swirl and this cacophony of sounds in this place.
It seems like they have the same questions we do. Or at least very similar ones.
How long ago was the breaking of an empire was written 8,000 years ago, and that happened. That event happened 8,000 years ago.
No, read the first line. It was written 8,000 years ago. And what does the author say about the timeline?
Almost 2 millennia ago. So yeah. Long, long time ago.
Yeah, you're looking at 2 millennia plus 8,000 years.
Is Old Man Winter still dead ahead?
He is, yes.
That way.
Yoki, keep your voice down.
That way.
Better.
You walk across this courtyard, and as you reach the door into the keep on the other side, the door is closed, and there are two very, very big, impressive looking, you'd probably say titans, not giants, and stood in front of the door. One of them storm, one of them fire. And they are stood blocking the door.
Show him the ring. Show him the ring.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
That's why I'm here.
Keep your mouth shut.
Teewin, now that you are a giant, how come you're not impressive as them?
Shh.
Okay, Goran. I can understand you're probably not taking a dig at me, but right now's not really the time. I need you to keep your mouth shut. That goes for you, Valiad, and Mr. X. Just everyone keep their mouth shut. Till we get to Cephalin. I walk up to the storm giant.
He kind of bows his head in acknowledgement as you walk up.
I bow my head as well. Sorry, is trying to think of the last king. Is the last king within there?
No more audiences for today. Our
Please,
king
it's
must
urgent.
rest for the morning.
Well, we came all
It's
this way.
it's really urgent. And I show him the ring.
He kind of looks torn, and he looks at the other one, and the fire giant kind of looks at him and just kind of shakes his head, and he kind of nods to the heart and says, "I'm sorry. I would like to let you in, but the king, he needs to rest. Tomorrow is going to be a taxing day for all of us."
I understand. Can you at least give him a message for me?
He nods. I will.
Tell him Tiawen is here and she has found the cloud's favor.
He kind of nods and he says, "Where in the city are you staying?"
Not quite sure yet. We've travelled very far to get here. We heard the calling. We haven't exactly settled down yet, as it were.
He kind of nods and he says, "If you've not yet found a place at the outer gate of the palace, if you give them your family line, they will find a home for you in the city."
I'm looking at her. But isn't your family line?
Goran! Goran! Shut up!
Should I go on ahead?
Thank you, friend. I turn around and walk away.
He
I
kind of,
swear to God.
before you go, if you do not yet know where you are going, you said Tiawen. Is that the
Yes,
name we
it's
should seek after? If the king wishes us to.
I can wait here. I can wait here, and if he needs you, I'll just come find you.
Isn't Golorin more unique?
I have a better idea. Vorian, Vanan, would you be able to stay here?
Of course, if you wish.
And if Cephalin wishes an audience with us, come find us.
Of course.
Okay. I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna kill the both of you. What was the worst thing?
What did I do?
I'm
I
I
gonna
just-
said
look.
to keep your damn mouths shut. We were
I
in a
did.
castle.
I
Oh.
did. I only asked if you wanted me to go ahead.
No,
I
they're not. You're not a giant. They're not gonna respect you. You're not gonna get anywhere here. You're the
Well-
only safe upon my shoulders with your mouth damn shut.
That is not true at all.
Oh,
And that's
I'm not thinking just about your safety. I'm thinking about the safety of this crew.
I fly off of
and-
your shoulder and make my way to the entrance where he told us to go.
I am sorry, Tiawen. I am extremely confused.
Yeah, I know you are. You always are, aren't you? What are you confused about now?
if you are thinking about our safety, isn't there safety in numbers? Why did you leave Vorian left behind when you could leave such a simple device as to message across time and space? Or even better, it would be possible for you to use other means of transportation. And also, while we're at it, how come they wanted you to use your bloodline to say where you're staying? Isn't your bloodline not giant? I am
No shit,
totally
Golrin.
confused.
Okay, let's answer one at a time. No shit, I'm not a giant. They don't know that. Either they
Are
probably
you guys
maybe do
fucking
know that.
stupid, though? Are you guys fucking stupid? You're saying this out in the open.
Yeah?
No, we're not. We've walked away by this point.
The place is packed with people.
You're walking
Yeah.
back through a crowded courtyard of people.
He
They don't give
just
a
said that
shit
this
about
place
us.
was the most crowded we've ever seen.
That's why I flew ahead.
I mean, Golden doesn't understand that. He has no social intelligence whatsoever.
But on top of that, you said you heard the call. That's why they asked for your bloodline. So
Is
there's-
it? Is it quite
Everyone,
Oh
evident?
no, you flew
everyone
ahead.
other than Yoki, who flew ahead.
he isn't
and
getting very far. He flies 10 feet per round, and
I fly 50.
from the gen size one. It's only 10.
don't think so.
Yeah, I'm almost positive
Gaseous
it's not.
form?
I'll look it up. No, it's not.
It's the greater genocide form.
Okay, what happens?
So everyone but Yoki, who flew ahead, and Vorian, who stayed behind, give me perception checks.
Perception? Wait, everyone who flew ahead, you said?
No, everyone but Yoki, who flew ahead,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
Vorian, who stayed behind.
I'm not going outside of being able to see them, though. Where did I put your home?
Who's just dropped out of the call?
Kim.
Because it's completely screwed up the cameras.
Not for me.
Oh yeah, you do fly it.
No, the ones on the
It's
screen
incorporeal.
recorded.
That's what I was confused by. Never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say I was almost positive that I fly at my normal speed, but I'll confirm my class for you.
Okay. Anyone else rolling, or is it just those two paying attention?
Well, you've told me that I can't.
True. Valiad, you notice, Teal, when you don't. As this conversation is going on, there are a few giants who give you odd looks.
Well, we're small people, and we've so far seen no other small people. So,
Yeah.
really,
Well,
Let's
not
just
that
get
I'm,
out of the
I'm saying
castle.
odder than they gave you as you were coming in.
Let's just get out of the castle then. Let's just get out of the castle.
I bet
Down
it's
the
a
steps,
more like,
away from the steps.
what the fuck did you just say? More like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You do make your way out of the courtyard within a few minutes. Where do you head?
Away from the steps.
Just making sure we aren't being followed, right?
Give me another perception to see if you can notice if you're being followed. And are you heading away from the steps towards the left, where the people were there to help you find housing, or are you heading away in a different direction?
Different direction.
Okay. You start checking behind you and see what you can see. You do notice that one of that a fire giant does follow you out of the castle.
I'll stop and
Mm.
turn to him then.
Well, let's just see if maybe he's just walking in our direction. I mean,
There we are.
no need to confront. He's a fire giant. He might see that as confrontational.
Can I see
That's-
Ferris anywhere?
You don't.
Sorry about that, internet line.
No problem.
No
I'll
problem.
cast sending.
To who?
I'll send it to Ferris.
Okay.
Ask him where he is.
Oh, is that the same fire giant that was guarding the gate or the door,
No, it's not.
or is that not a fire giant?
It was a
I
storm
doubt it.
giant.
I highly doubt it.
You're muted,
It was,
Casey.
it was a storm giant you were speaking to, and a fire giant next to him, and that's not the same person that's following you.
Okay.
You message Ferris? He actually tells you that he's just managed to speak to one of the assistants who has been able to locate his grandfather's estate, and that they are taking him and his sons there now.
What was his grandfather's name? Just offhand.
Never told us.
No, he didn't.
Mhm. We could always ask him for hospitality. He does owe us almost debt, you could say.
Sure.
Just
I'll
ask
ask if
him
he
where-
can meet
yeah.
us. Can ask him if he can meet us somewhere. Just towards the right of the steps, I guess. He'll be able to spot us.
Well, you got the impression that he's already left the palace and was heading into another part of
That's
the
what
city.
I mean. Like, ask him where he's
I'm
going,
aware.
Like,
That's why I'm asking, can he meet us outside? Just towards the right of the steps.
So you're asking him to turn around and come back.
Yep.
Or tell us what direction he went.
yeah, why don't we just ask him where that house is? Ask if we
So I
can
feel
meet
like
him
Casey's gonna throw us a curveball if we try that.
I have a sword that can point at Ferris.
Yeah, sure, do that. Fine.
Yeah, I mean, just not trying to throw a curveball at all, but he's just told you that he is following someone who is showing him the way.
Okay, yep. Okay, we'll just use your sword. Let's point.
All right, I land back down on her shoulder and I use it and a point.
Okay. It leads you off in a different direction than you came into the city in. Kind of towards the eastern part of the city. And you head that way, I take it.
No.
Are you trying to catch up to him?
Yeah.
Okay. You will be able to do so because they're not in a hurry to get anywhere specific. You manage to catch up, and you see Ferris and his two sons, and you see a would be a who is it? A hill giant, actually. A hill giant female walking with him. And it looks like the two of them are talking as they go down the street. And it looks like the hill giant is pointing at various places as they pass them. And you're at the point now that if you shouted, they would hear you.
Don't shout.
Don't know. Ah, damn it. We don't have a name yet. Can anyone think of a stone giant name? A stone giant name. Last name.
I would advise you just use your name. Especially
We earned
as
our right to be here.
you've already given it to the guards. I don't think you should concern
I
yourself
don't
with that.
understand we've earned our right to be here.
Okay, fine. Walk up to them then.
As you do, they're kind of looking, and as you walk up to them, you hear, and the hill giant is saying, "Now this house once belonged to the Sootbeard family. They were shieldsmiths." And it sounds like basically she's just talking about the families that used to live here. And she says, now your grandfather's is just along this way and on the right, I believe. And she kind of looks at the list and, yes. On the right, the third along. Yes, here we are. And they go to stop. And as they're going to stop to turn on into this kind of property, Ferris turns and he sees you and he's, Teowen, is everything okay? Where are the others?
It's a matter of perspective. Do you mind if we can go into your lodgings and speak for a moment?
Well, yes, Greta was just about to show me my grandfather's estate.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Hello, Greta.
And she kind of smiles and says, hello, are you looking for your ancestors' home as well?
Oh, no. I'm fine with my friend Ferris here. Aren't I, Ferris?
You need some drugs? What are you doing?
Well, his inside actually knows what you're up to.
Wow.
It takes him like a minute. He goes like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about."
Yeah. Yes. Of course. By all means, come with us. Come in. And she leads all of you now, into this estate through this magnificently crafted kind of like wrought iron gate with this just intricate black metal that's carved into the shape of flames. That is so intricate that if you kind of don't look at it straight on, if you just kind of glance at it and look away again, it almost looks like the flames are actually moving. It's that kind of intricately crafted. Past that, down through a garden which looks like it has been overgrown for a long time, and into or to the front door of a house that looks. If any of you are familiar with the plantation homes in the American South, the big kind of sprawling front porch on it, big rooms, very spacious house, 2 stories, looks quite well appointed, and she kind of and this was your grandfather's home. I will, and she kind of looks around and she says, I will leave you and your friends to look around the place. If If you need anything more, just come back to the desk, and we'll do anything we can to assist. And she kind of just bows and excuses herself. And Ferris opens the door and steps in. Both of the boys immediately run past him into the house, just not believing what they're seeing in this near palatial, just lovely, amazingly big, obviously quite well off house. And he turns, he kind of looks at you and he says, I'm not really sure what's going on. Oi!
Did you find any information from the people you spoke at the steps?
Well, they seem to be trying to restore estates to the owners as people return. They're talking about rebuilding Vonenheim and about the military and volunteers and some kind of march. And I mean, obviously, I've got my boys. I can't be heading off somewhere, and I told them that, and they agreed and said that the city needs citizens. I hadn't really planned on staying, but this is my grandfather's estate. I never dreamed I would be back here.
It is quite amazing.
So, just really quick, out of character question: where did Old Man Blade and the Cyclops go?
They're still following you.
Okay. And did the Fire Giant continue to follow us?
Once you headed out of kind of the center of town, and it got kind of into the desolate parts, he dropped off.
Okay.
Probably realizing that it would be very obvious to keep following you at that point.
Can I roll a sense motive on him?
Certainly.
Is he good or no good?
No, he's not.
Okay. Oh shit! I clicked the wrong button. It's the same bonus though.
Okay. You get the impression that he wanted to know where you were going, that he was curious about you and wanted to find out more, but obviously not enough to keep trying to tell you when it would have been obvious.
Okay, that's good. So not
Can
hostile.
can I just say that I'm staring at the storm giant Titan?
Okay.
Unblinking, just staring at him.
I want you in a special way, boy.
That does actually get difficult for you, because about 2 minutes after they've all left, another a frost giant actually arrives and basically takes over his post, and he actually then steps into the keep.
Then I'm going to stare at the frost giant.
They don't need to blink, dude. You need to be careful.
You got a pretty mouth.
So I stare at him,
You stare at him.
unblinking.
Are you trying to intimidate him or just be creepy?
No, I'm just looking at him. I'm
Creepy.
studying
Not
him.
much.
Is every angle? He's a frost titan, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You're just being creepy then. Got it.
No, I'm not just being creepy. I'm doing this for shape change.
Not just.
Just
I am being creepy.
Doing it with-
No. I am definitely being creepy. But I'm doing it for shape change.
You're doing it for science.
Okay. What do the rest of you do once you're in this house?
I believe that fellow following us just wanted to talk.
Oh, I don't want to talk
think
to him.
I don't think he meant us any harm. Well, that's why I'm telling you now.
Well, that's a good point. Did he follow us all the way to
No,
the house? And
no, he stopped following us when it became apparent that he was following us.
oh, I thought you meant a different giant. Never mind. Okay, that one. Yeah. I mean, we remember what he looks like. We can find him, right?
I mean, I suppose if we don't really need to talk to him.
No, but if we want
Might
to.
find some more
So
information.
I can go talk to him if you want.
I have a feeling they won't talk to you. These lots seem a bit racist.
Well, if I told him that you sent me to fetch him, I'm sure he would be more inclined.
Racist?
Not-
No.
Specious?
He's saying that in front of this guy.
In front of Ferris?
Ferris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ferris, I feel like you'd have a lot of pull in this place with your ring.
He kind of looks confused and he says, I'm... Me?
Yeah. Because this ring has got me this far so far.
I'm just a blacksmith.
Oh, I'm so inciting that.
Okay, roll your
Yeah, I'm going
insight.
to.
I'm going to go... My puppy has closed the door on herself, so 1 second.
Oh,
right.
Dumber.
puppy.
I'm going to. What is it?
What the fuck are we going to do? Like,
I'm
okay, the storm giant's gone inside, so hopefully he'll give the message to Cephalum. Then we just have to wait.
And I mean, I can deliver the message to him myself. If you
What?
like.
okay. How have we talked to him earlier?
Sending.
Sorry?
Okay. So why are we not using sending?
I've already sent the message. Storm giant's gone inside.
I'm back.
Might just be a matter of
I-
like a few minutes.
What's up?
That's a
I'll
good
just go
point.
ahead.
Did the person who took the message go inside?
Nope.
Yeah, that's what Casey said.
Okay.
Okay. I missed it.
Yeah,
He
but-
didn't do it
I'm
until
not
after
saying
you left.
anything because I'm not playing.
You're not playing.
What?
Wow.
Nope.
Why?
You don't need
Nobody
to
wants
punish.
me to play, obviously.
What?
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 That's fine.
What have you been
Continue.
smoking?
What?
I'm confused.
Nothing. Don't
Very,
be.
very confused.
It's all good. Just waiting.
Okay. Gulrin, insight.
Yes,
Um,
34.
He's completely out of his depth, not knowing what the hell's going on, and he's a blacksmith.
So his family legacy is important, but blah, blah, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I mean, you know from what he said previously, he knew that his grandfather was from Osterna. His grandfather left Osterna after everything happened. His father and he were raised away from Osterna. When his grandfather died, he was given his grandfather's ring, which has always been just a ring, until a couple months ago, he started feeling a pull on the ring, and it led him here.
Ferris, what is your last name? If you're speaking, Casey, I can't hear you.
No, sorry, I had muted it to open up a bag. He kind of stops for a second. He says, I'm Ferris Grinmer. Why?
That was the guy who wrote that passage. He was the author. His
What?
last name was Grimrun.
What passage? What are you talking about?
Borean has the book. It was a passage about the last king and how he got the throne. I'm guessing it was your great-grandfather. What's your great-grandfather's name?
My great grandfather was Keldrick.
And your grandfather?
Svordak.
Does anyone remember the first name of the guy who wrote the book? Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, open up, you prick. There we go.
That's what she said? I don't know.
Zvordak Grinmer, Fire
Zvordak.
Titan, representative of Honorheim and friend of Svetlin. Yes. It's his grandfather.
Do you reckon both our rings, if we walk up to that place, both our rings will get us in? Has anyone got any suggestions?
It is the dead of. It was dusk when we arrived, right? Has the sun set by now?
As far as you can tell, there's not a sun. I didn't notice that.
I'll just cast Sending on Stefan.
I'll pick up the toys
I'll
later,
tell
baby,
him
but-
I'm here, and I'm also here with a descendant of Svordak Grinmer.
With Old Man
And
Blade.
Old Man Blade, yeah.
And Old Man Blade.
He replies back to you and he says, I told you, you should not have come.
Please speak with me.
Where are you?
I'm in the Grinmer estate.
Wait there.
Also cast Sending to Vorian. Tell him where we are.
Okay.
I can help lead him here. I don't know how convoluted it was to get to this estate.
Not very. You basically, there are kind of 8 roads that lead from the castle, kind of at the 4 compass points and then at the 4 half points. And you took one of those main spikes, walked for a few miles, and then took one turn to get here. So it's not overly convoluted.
Yeah, go ahead. You might be able to intercept with him.
Okay. So Vorian, you get that message. What do you do?
I wait.
Okay. Are you waiting for anything in specific, or?
I'm waiting for him to come out.
Okay.
So I guess I'd make it all the way to the palace then.
Yeah, if you're heading back that way, then yeah, you do make it back to the palace.
I guess I'll land on Vorian's shoulder then.
Okay.
Did you not get Tia's message?
And then I teleport straight there.
Okay. Because why not?
I start to walk back.
You were on his shoulder.
Yeah,
I don't know how teleport works.
If you were in physical contact with him, unless he specifically excluded you, it should have brought you as well.
No, I brought you along.
Oh, that would have been
okay.
funny.
I was just like,
Just
what did I
disappears
do
from
to
under
piss
you.
you off?
Yeah. It's like, well, shit, now I have to walk.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Give me perception checks, everyone.
Ooh.
Yoki doesn't
Just have
see
to wait 40 years.
Critical.
Well, there you go. I paid the price for your crits.
Critical failure.
It's
What the?
wow.
Crit fail. Crit fail.
Suck that 20 right out of you.
That's
Still roll
mad.
higher than me.
Okay. So everyone who did not crit fail, here's this. But those who got in the natural 20s, you will actually be the first to hear it. You hear a rumbling, and then what sounds like the crackle of thunder. And it sounds like it's just outside the door.
Shall we let him in?
Let who in?
I walk up to the front door.
I shape
Have a
change
fit.
into a storm titan because I can.
Yeah, boy.
Okay.
Wait, how tall is this house?
A storm titan would fit in,
Okay.
but it's going to be near ceiling height. If you've ever seen like a really tall basketball player walking through a normal house, and it looks like they're kind of almost going to touch the ceiling, but not quite, it's that kind of impression.
I'm going to shape time back into Tierwin's form.
And I have a very large, giant greatsword made of god steel.
Okay. And
Wait,
who's
I
opening
can't
the
open
door?
the doors. Me. I'm just going to be a stone giant, actually. I won't change until I open the door because I just realized I probably wouldn't be able to open the doors, Tierwin.
No, you wouldn't. That's why I was asking who's opening the door.
I open the door as a stone giant.
Okay. You open the door, and there, standing in front of you, is Stoltnum.
Finally. I polymorph back into Tierwin.
He looks down at you a bit displeased looking that you're here. And he steps inside, and as he looks around, you get that same look of displeasure whenever he looks at Gregarious as well, Old Man Blade. And he just kind of looks down at you and he says, I said you should not have come here.
I'm a very stubborn person.
Obviously.
I nod.
What is going on, Marfalon? Please tell me. You're a very hard man to get in touch with.
Yes, I am. The weight of many years of running. Give me an insight check. I'll let anyone make it. Tia, when you make it with advantage.
Is he good?
Yes.
Not bad.
Okay. Everyone but Valiad Tiawan, even with an advantage, just barely. You're a bard. You're supposed to be good with insight.
No, I'm not. Insight's intelligence, isn't it?
But it's like a
Wisdom.
bard kind of thing still.
Fuck that.
Fair enough. He looks on the verge of tears. He
Oh,
looks really ragged. He looks like he has been through the ringer. If you've ever seen someone who just feels dragged down, that's kind of what you're looking at this point.
I move over and I put out my arms and I go to give him a hug.
And he looks at you and he says, if you're going to impersonate a Titan, it is best not to do so to perhaps the only living person who remembers all of the Titans by name.
He says, I'm not trying to impersonate anyone. I'm just liking the new duds. Now, you look like you need a hug. Would you like one?
No.
Sefton,
And
may we speak alone?
he turns back to Tiawan and he just kind of walks into the kind of main room there at the ground floor, and he sits down in one of the chairs and looks around and he says, it must have been
Love?
more than 10,000 years since I was in this room.
Oh, my manners. I'm so rude.
And
Sefton,
he kind of looks
this
over
is Ferris.
and he kind of looks over and he smiles and he says, Ferris, I knew your grandfather well. And Ferris just kind of nods dumbfoundedly. Like, he's just made it back to this place that he had heard about in legends, that he had never expected to ever be at, and now the guy with a crown just walked into the house that he's only just found out is his now.
So he is wearing his crown then.
He is wearing the crown, yes. And he just kind of sits down and he looks over at you and he says, I don't understand why you insisted on coming. And he kind of looks past you and he says, nor you. You're too old to be traveling, old man. And Gregarious just kind of limps into the room and kind of looks at him and he says, would that you didn't make me travel. What's going on? And Svelton just kind of sits back and you can see he's kind of almost he's putting his hand on his forehead, but you can also see he's almost feeling the bumps of the crown. Like if you're wearing something and it's not comfortable, and you kind of almost you got that where you want to take it off, but you've been told not to, kind of feeling. And he just kind of sighs and doesn't answer at first. He just kind of sits there in silence a minute. And do you all just sit there in silence as well?
It's like, are we actually going to wait this minute out?
I was waiting to see if any of you do anything whenever he just pauses.
I want to see if can I get closer to him, like sit on his knee or something?
I fart.
Of course you do.
You can get closer to him. I don't know if he let you sit on his knee.
So it kind of looks like he's completely resigned to whatever it is that he feels like his lot is, like what fate has dealt him. He is resigned to. It cannot be changed, and it's the way things are.
Yeah, that I won't even make you an insight roll. That looks exactly like what he's doing.
Venan, can I get a lift up?
Uh,
A little bit short.
He kind of
Can I
sighs
toss her?
and kind of reaches down and lifts you up
Do not
and
toss
sits you
me.
on the arm of the chair.
I grimace at the fact that he responded to Venan.
Uh,
I thought maybe
Jealousy.
Casey didn't hear that part, and I was just like, oh.
for
No, I heard it. I just didn't respond to
You
it.
did hear
Mm.
I was wondering if Doc heard it.
Yeah,
Timon just looks like really
For-
confused. Then looks over at Vorian and then looks back at Sybil and like, oh fuck.
you see,
okay.
Vorian was about to, and then he did it. And then it was just like,
That's great.
Okay,
So,
now's not the time.
forgive my forwardness, but I know the look of a man who is resigned to his fate and feels that it cannot be changed. And while in some cases that may be true, I would urge you to hear the to at least share with us what it is that you feel like has you pinned in and forced into a certain set of actions. You have friends here that care enough about you to risk your anger to see to it that you are safe and not alone, without allies or people to rely on, to lean on.
He kind of sighs and he looks around at all of you. And he says, "You are human, are you not? And elf and myriad?" And he kind of looks at Goran and he says, "Some form of Triton?"
Some form. Excuse me.
And he kind of just
Golren.
lean and just continues from there. And he looks at Doc and you can see that he
A dog.
focuses on Vorian for just a moment longer, and he says, "Interesting." And Aurigar.
Do you actually know what I am? I really wish someone could answer that question.
Now's not really the time.
You are a forward person.
I come
I-
here because my love cares deeply about your well-being, and I'd hope you'd respond in kind. And I just sort of lean on the greatsword, very obviously a little bit pissed.
Yeah, he for the most part ignores you whenever you do that. And he looks around and he says, "Of all of you, what have you lived but 100 years? 1,000, perhaps? What can any of you say of the weight of millennia?"
I'm going to hold up my hands like I'm weighing something.
And
No, I didn't.
he kind of looks back at you, Yoki, and he says, "You speak of resignation. I ran from my choices for nearly 2 millennia, and yet I did not escape them.
So there is no escape from your choices, huh?
No, Goran, there is not.
In the time that I ran, my home, my spheres, my people froze in the bitter cold that was left in the king's throne with no king. I feared the result of one such as I taking the throne. And in doing so, I doomed my race. What do you know of the choices that one must make for the many?"
You're about to
Well,
make a very
Yoki?
important
Um,
choice.
Well, I was going to. Hold on.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Well, I cannot speak to the weight of running for millennia, and I cannot speak to letting a whole race down. But those that I love have paid with the blood of their lives because of choices that I chose to make. I would urge you, whatever has happened, which I won't claim to know anything about, that no matter how bad it may seem or